Okay, I believe I am live. Happy Monday, everybody. And, man, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys got after it, you crushed it, and you left no doubt. You left no doubt in your mind that you got the heck after it. Okay, let's start off with a little bit of business first. The way I'm going to be breaking these videos down, so I'm going to be doing pretty much three categories. The first category is going to be this category. It's going to be client questions. And so what these are questions that my clients kind of ask me, or potential clients, people I'm kind of reaching out to, and just what are the big questions that are going on in their head when I start talking about retirement planning, IBC, investing in real estate, business, all that type of stuff. And so I'm going to be capturing their questions and then the responses I give to them, and then I'm going to be blessing you guys with it. So maybe it'll answer some questions that you have. And so that's my goal for this series. My second series is going to be more about tips. And so it's going to be great. Some free tips on what you could be doing, what you could be investing in, what it looks like, all that kind of stuff. And then my third series is the series I did last Friday, I believe, where I go over my journey. That's going to be the exciting stuff. That's going to be the stuff when I'm buying my business. I talked to my broker today, and so I'll talk to you guys probably on Friday if there's something that's of value, and kind of walk you through the process of what we talked about and all that kind of stuff. Because I want you guys to understand what it takes to invest in business, to invest in real estate, how all that kind of flows together, and then also so you guys can take action. I'm not doing this alone. You guys are coming with me. We're going to come together. We're going to buy businesses together. And we're going to take over the world together. Okay. So this section today is going to be specifically on questions. So client questions. And I had only two. So it's going to be a short video with you guys. And the first one, and this question I get asked, man, probably... it's got to be like 66% of the time, maybe more. Most of my either clients or potential clients, this is one of the questions I get probably asked more than anyone. And so this is a very, very, very good question. It is, hey, I have a IRA, a 401k, I max contribute every year. Will I have a great retirement? Right? So many of you guys that are probably listening that are going to watch this video in the future, maybe you guys max contribute to your 401k or Roth IRA. And you're probably asking the same questions now, like, hey, Brian, will I be able to retire if I do that? My financial planner that I have now is saying that I'll be able to retire if I do this. What do you think? Great question. Let me blow my nose real quick. I apologize. So the questions I would ask you, or the questions that I would advise you, I'd coach you on, right? Because I want to be your coach. The questions I would coach you on to ask your financial planner is, I would say, first one, what are your fees? How much is this gentleman or this lady, how much are they charging you for investing your money? Kind of planning your money, or kind of helping you invest your money. What are your fees? Just with them. And then, what is your IRA or what's your 401k invested in? That's a big one. That's a big one right there, and that's really going to show you how much there's going to be more fees, right? So if your money's invested into, let's say, a mutual fund, right? You really, really have to pay attention to where that money. Not where that money is, man. It's the fees, really. That's what's really going to eat you up. The one thing I realized, because I had my money a long time ago in my 20s invested in a mutual fund, is it would say I was gaining like 8% a year. But then I started doing the math and I realized it's like 2% or 3%. And then I started reading the documents. There's 2% fees taken out here. There's 1% fee taken out here. There's 2% fees taken. And so it starts to add up where mine, I believe, was like 7%, maybe 6%, somewhere around there. Was all deducted. So say I made 10% that year. They were taking out 6 or 7% fees. So I was really only making 3%. And so if your money right now, you have it in a Roth IRA or traditional IRA, and it's in a mutual fund, please please take a look at it. Talk to your financial advisor, or if you're your own financial advisor, you need to look at that. You need to pull up your statement of last year, and then you need to dissect it and go, okay, it said I made 10%, calculate it and see how much you really made. Go read through the documentation. I know it's boring. I know it's really, really boring. It's like a 1,000-page document. It's not really, but it seems like a 1,000-page document. Read through it. See how much money's being taken out with fees, because that's what's going to kill you. If you're making 10%, but they're taking out 7%, it's going to take you forever to get to retirement. So, see what it's invested in. If it's a mutual fund, I urge you, please take a look at it and nix it if you can. And then with that as well, what is your past performance so far? So you have your Roth IRA, your 401k. How much are you actually making? And again, this goes back to kind of what it's invested in. Is you need to track it. You need to track and see how much you're actually making a year. A lot of people don't do that. I don't get it. It's kind of like, and I talk about this all the time. If you're going to the gym and you're working out and you're trying to get big, you're going to measure your biceps, or you're going to look at your abs, or you're going to see how much you're benching or squatting, or how many pull-ups you can do now versus what you did. You're always measuring to find progress, right? Same thing or you're on the scale. You're on the scale and you're checking. I was at 200 pounds last week and now I'm at 190. I did good. I lost 10 pounds, which that wouldn't happen. But you know what I'm saying. Measure. You have to measure where your money's at and then what it's actually doing. So if you had it in this Roth IRA, say for 5 years, and again, really pay attention, because most of you that are watching this, I guarantee you're either in an IRA or you're in a 401k, and you haven't checked that thing in like 10 years or 5 years, and you're like, well, my financial planner said I'm going to retire. Check it. I'm telling you, like, I'm not going to badmouth anybody. I love everybody. Some people, they only know what they know, right? And so maybe they're not checking it. And I'm not saying it's ill-intentioned, but you got to make sure that you're holding them accountable and seeing where your money's at. If it's growing, if it's not growing, hey, you got to go somewhere it's going to grow. Like, this is your retirement. This isn't their retirement. This is your retirement. And so it's your responsibility to make sure that you're hitting your numbers, you're hitting your percentages, and then that where it's at today is going to get you to where you want to be at retirement age. And so I would say with this question, again, the question goes back to, if I have a Roth IRA or a 401k or whatever, will I have enough for retirement? I would say, man, it really depends. You really need to go in there and look at your numbers, and you need to model. You need to model where you're at today, model with compound interest, and figure out, is it going to get you to where you want to be, and make sure you're paying attention to those fees. If you're making 10% a year, or it's saying you're making 10% a year, but it's really not because your fees, do not compound it, do not model it with 10% a year, because you're going to be way off. You're going to be probably close to, 4 or 5% off each year, and that's going to compound, and it's going to give you this number that's not accurate. Where it's going to say you're going to retire at 65, when really you're going to retire at 105. And so, please, what I would say is check it out, model, make sure that it makes sense. And if you have any questions about this stuff, guys, it's very, very easy. Shoot me a message and go, hey, this is where my money's invested. Does this make sense? Again, I'll do it for free. It doesn't, I'm your coach. Coach is going to help you out. It's going to put you in the right direction. I'm going to hold you accountable and say, hey, this isn't going to work. You need to do something else. Or, hey, this is working. Keep up the good work. It's going to get you where you want to be. And so everyone needs a coach. And so just make sure you're, I personally, again, I don't think this is going to get you to where you want to be, or just a Roth IRA. I have a Roth IRA, by the way. I've got a traditional and a Roth. Now, it's out there, it's investing, it's making me money, but that's not my only strategy. Hear me. Hear my heart. If that's your only strategy, it's, people say investing's risky. I think if you only have one strategy to get you to where you want to be, and that's all you're doing, I think that's really risky. So if all you have is one Roth IRA, and you're hoping and you're praying that that one strategy is going to get you to where you want to be, and you have no other strategies or no other game plans or no other vehicles working simultaneously, I think that is risky. You're probably better off than people that have nothing. So don't get me wrong, in my heart. There's people out here that have zero, zilch, nada. They've got no 401k, they've got no Roth IRA. They're just like, I'm going to be good. And they're not. And it breaks my heart. It really does. It breaks my heart because I've seen them. I own a moving and storage company. I've had to move people that they weren't prepared. They had no money, and they're somebody's mom and dad. It's like the most heartbreaking thing ever. That's really, truthfully, that's one of the reasons why I love doing this. This is why it's my passion. It's because I've seen so many people that are older that can't afford anything, and it breaks your heart because you're just like, they have to grind every single. They grinded their whole life, and now they're older. They should be relaxing. They should be, enjoying it, right? Enjoying the last couple of years we got, and they're not. They're grinding and they're struggling with bills still, and they can't afford things, and it's literally the most heartbreaking thing you're ever going to see. And so, golly, just don't let that be you. Don't let that be your parents. That's the only thing I can urge you of. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm going to teach my kids all this stuff. Is I don't want them to do that and be that. And so I would say no. I'd say if all you have is a Roth IRA or an IRA or just a 401k, message me or go talk to your financial planner and just be like, hey man, hey ma'am or sir, is this going to get me to my goal? My goal is $1 million. Is this going to get me to my goal at 65? And if they say yes, it will, show me. That's their job. Their job is to show you. Don't let them bullcrap you. Don't let them, you know what I mean? Like, kind of beat around the question. Hold them accountable. You're putting your financial future in them, and you're trusting them. Have them prove it. Have them earn that trust. Don't just give it to them. Have them earn it. Have them earn it, and have them, exceed your expectations. Okay, so that's my first question. Question number 2 is why invest in IBC versus an IRA 401k? I'd say do both, but okay, so say you're really tight. Your budget's really tight. I know a lot of clients like that as well, where they just don't have a lot of cash flow each month. I would always do IBC over Roth IRA. Hear me out. I know I sell IBC, and I know you're just selling what you sell. Blah 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 blah. Hear me out. Here's the questions I'm going to ask you. Now, really, really focus on these questions. I want you to feel them. I want them to become real to you. If they become real to you, then you'll start to see it. Maybe you'll take action. Okay, Roth IRA, IBC. What happens if you die early in your retirement? So say you're 50 years old, you die. What's going to happen with the difference? So you have your IBC account, right? So you're invested in life insurance, and it's compounding every single year, and it's growing and growing and growing. You have your IRA. IRA, you die, that's all the money you have, right? Say you contribute the exact same amounts. So instead of funding it here to your IRA, it's funding to your IBC. You die, say you have 100K in each, right? Those are good numbers, right? Say you just have 100K in each. You're 50 years old, you die. IRA, that's it. You got 100K. So how long do you really think? And I want you to feel this in your heart. How long do you think your kids, your spouse, if you're a guy, I don't know, if your spouse, we'll just say spouse. How long do you think your spouse and kids are going to survive off that 100K? Be real with me. Your income's gone. All they have is 100K. How long are they going to survive? 2 years? 3 years? Maybe 4? Maybe 5, right? We'll just say 5. Let's be really, I think it's going to be 2 or 3 years because your income's gone. Say 5 years. What the heck is she going to do after 5? He or she or whatever, your kids, what are they going to do after 5 years? That's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's all, your whole retirement is gone in 5 years. And so everything you've invested in all that grinding time is done in 5. Okay, that's your Roth, that's your IRA, that's your, you know what I mean? That's what 60 or 70% of my clients, that's all they have, is they have their Roth IRA. Now you have your IBC account. Boom, you've got your 100K. You pass away at 50, they get your death benefit, tax free. Say it's at, say it's at $1 million, right? That's pretty reasonable. $500,000, $1 million. Now they have $500,000 or $1 million to live off of. How long is that going to last? A lot longer than 5 years. Maybe 10, 15, 20 years? Do you think that'll give your wife and kids more than enough time to get on their feet? Right? That's one. Right? The whole goal of this retirement is to be able to take care of your family. And you want to cover yourself, cover the gap. Number 2, what happens to your kid's spouse? Okay, that's what we kind of talked about. Can they survive off your 401k IRA? I say no. I think if you're really honest with yourself, 100K is not going to last a long time. And it's just really not. It's really not, and you got to figure out too is, can they get to that money? How liquid is that money when you die? Do they have to wait? Is it going to be taxed? There's so many different variables that you got to go in and you got to make sure it's structured properly. And so you got to do your due diligence on this kind of stuff. And again, we kind of talked about how long can they survive. With 100K, with our scenario, 100K, it's not long. I don't think it's 5. I really think it's about 2 or 3 years, and then they're done. And then now, what are they going to do? That's your kids. That's your spouse. Like, you know what I mean? You got to set them up. Now they have to go and either struggle, get on welfare, hopefully they get a good job. Maybe they have to marry someone else to be able to support. And then, I don't know, man. Thinking about that kind of stuff breaks my heart. I would never want my wife to have to find another man, and my kids have to have another dad to be able to survive because I didn't take care of my family. And I let them down, and then, who knows? Who knows what type of environment that's going to be, how that man's going to raise your kids versus the way you're going to raise your kids. And so, or that, wife, whatever the case may be. So I want this to become real to you. Like, that's real. I know it sucks. It's kind of sad to talk about, but it's real. That's the things you guys start thinking about. Like, that's when you start taking action. That's when you start really structuring your life and doing the things you know you should be doing, but you don't because of, instant gratification, right? You want that fudge sundae, or you want to buy that new car, or that BMW, when you know you probably shouldn't be buying that BMW. Okay, so family's protected. Reason 1. Reason 2, these are reasons too why you want to do IBC versus IRA, right? Or 401k, same thing. So, family's protected, liquid cash. This is the reason, man, if I could be 100% honest with you, this is the reason why I did IBC. Liquid cash for additional investments. This is probably in my tips section as well, and I'll probably touch on this 1,000 times until it starts to click. But you could take that cash, say that 100K, Roth IRA, you can't touch it. Can't touch it. It's stuck. 59.5. You could take it out, but you're going to pay additional fees. IBC, take that money, buy yourself a piece of real estate. Buy yourself a business. Take your money, loan it out to someone else's hard money or private money lending. Make 10% on your money. Pay off your loan. You just created positive arbitrage, and that money's still growing. Going into growing always compounds. Your IRA's compounding as well, but if you take the money out, your IRA stops compounding. And if you take a loan on your money in your IBC account, it still compounds. Every single day, while you sleep, while you dream, while you work, while you grind, that money's still grinding. That money's still working for you. So if you're working, your money's working. And tax-free payments as well. That's huge. All of your payments that are coming out of your IBC account are tax-free. And so you can't beat that. It's kind of like, it's why people, if If you think about your IRA, your Roth IRA, or your Roth 401k, people invest in this because they're making this assumption in their mind, which I agree, that taxes down the road, 10 years, 20 years down the road, they're going to be a lot higher than they are today. Who would agree, right? In 20 years, do you think taxes are going to be lower or going to be higher? They're going to be higher. We're like $1 bazillion in debt, and it's not going away. The way we're spending money, it's probably going to be a trillion. It's not even a word, but I'm going to say it. Dollars in debt. So it's going to keep rising, right? So taxes are going to have to keep rising to be able to pay off that debt. And so the reason why you would do like a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k is so that you pay your taxes right away. Same thing with IBC. You pay your taxes right away. That money that grows, it compounds, it's tax-free. And so you're not going to be able to beat that. That's the best way to grow your cash and best way to pull your cash out as well. And then last one, guys, your Roth IRA, you can contribute how much? $6,000 to something. It keeps changing every year. I think it's like $65,000 for regular people, and then obviously goes up if you're close to that age. So it's $6,500, right, for tax-free. And then if you make a lot of income, I'm going to jack the numbers up. I don't have it in front of me. Say it's like over $200K or something like that. You could put less. And so you can only contribute $6,000 into this beautiful account that's going to compound for you tax-free. Boom, boom, boom. In IBC, you can contribute as much as you want. Now, here's my caveat to that. You know, it's more in depth. I don't want to get too over the, in the weeds, so I don't want to lose you guys on it, but you could contribute a lot more than $6,000 in your IBC account. You can have it compounding and growing. Now, Brian, why do I want to do that? Why do I want to put more money in this IBC account? I want to keep the money now. I want to buy cars, bro. I want to buy new shoes. I want to buy some swag. I want to get my chain. Right? I want to buy some new hats. I want to get some new clothes. Why do I want to have more money in this account? You know? There's this thing. There's this crazy pattern you see with compound interest, right? And so first it starts off way down here. Follow my finger. And it starts off here, and you've got like maybe 50,000 and then 100,000, and barely grows, and then you get to like maybe 200,000, 300,000, and then it gets to 400,000, and then it starts to just crazy jump, 500,000, and then it goes boom, 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 and then a million, two, and then it skyrockets up this way. So there's this crazy principle with compound interest. The longer it's in there, the more time you have, the bigger that number gets, the more it just starts just jumping on this crazy just rate where it goes from, again, 50,000 where it's growing a little bit, and then it starts compounding and compounding and compounding and compounding and compounding and compounding. Now you got 1 million, and then now you got 1.2, and then 1.4, then 1.8, and then 2 million, and then 2.4, and then it's just crazy how fast it grows every single year once it gets to those big numbers. Now, why would I want to contribute more? Early. The more money you get in there, man, the more time you got, the faster you start that ascending to that beautiful compound interest ascending. Because again, in the beginning, if you're only putting a couple dollars in, again, that Roth IRA, it's going to take forever. But say you put in $100,000 or whatever the case may be. I don't want to lose you with big numbers here. But say you just put in more than your Roth IRA. The trajectory is going to start changing. And your compound interest, or what it used to be, or what it would have been versus what it's going to be today, or what it's going to be in 20 years is going to change dramatically. And so you want to put as much money as you can in as early as you can, because you've got the beautiful strategy of time. You've got more time. You've got more time for it to grow. You've got more time for it to compound. And that's your biggest asset. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter it does matter how much you put in, but time is going to be your most valuable asset when it comes to investments. So again, you want to do, if you just have an IRA, you really need to make sure it's putting out the numbers that you want it to put out, and it's going to get you to where you want to be. And then why I would invest in IBC over just a Roth IRA is you're way more protected You're way more liquid, so you can take that money out and invest it in other things and grow your wealth faster. And you can contribute as much, not as much as you want, but you can contribute a lot more than a Roth IRA. And so if you really want to build up your retirement portfolio, build up your nest egg so it starts compounding early, this is going to be your best bet. There's not a better bet out there than this one. Unless there is, show me. And then it's tax-free payments. And so thank you so much. I hope this answers some questions, especially my 66 percenters out there that only have a Roth IRA and that they swear it's God-given truth. Just look at it. Look at it. Let me look at it. Talk to your financial planner. Have them look at it and just see. Again, it's not going to hurt you to check. And with that, guys, if you guys got any questions, let me know. Outreach me. Again, I'm available. My phone number is on my IBC page. My email's on there as well. Send me a direct message if you want. Doesn't really matter to me. I'd love to help you out. I'd love to bless you. I'd love to just point you in the right direction. Again, I'm your coach. I'm Coach Brian. I'll coach you. I'll do what I can to bless you, to get you on the right track, and hopefully we can do some deals together. That's kind of my goal in this, is just to later down the road, you get yourself on track, and you get maybe $50K in your account, maybe a little bit more, depending on how aggressive you are, and you go, hey Brian, thank you so much for setting this up. I want to buy a piece of real estate. Do you want to partner together? Yeah, let's do it. I'm always going to have extra cash. That's just who I am. I'm always going to have an extra, who knows how much, but extra money to do deals with you to bless you. Or maybe you're like, hey Brian, can I take a loan out? Or hey Brian, do you want to take a loan on my money because it's just sitting here and I don't want to do a deal? Yeah, I can use you. You can make money on your money. Be a private money lender for me. I buy a business. I take a loan out from you. You make money on your money. It compounds every year. You're making a percentage off me as well. Hey, we help each other out. We help each other grow. And so I believe in that. I don't believe in scarcity, guys. I think there's more than enough money for all of us. And again, if I bless you now and I help you to give you the right strategies to take where you are from where you are today to where you want to be, maybe in the future, we'll bless each other. We'll do some good deals together. And so God bless you guys. This is my questions for the week. I'm going to go over tips probably on tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I'll go over my financial journey on Friday. And so I love you guys. You guys have a great Monday. Let's crush it. Come on. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.